Hi, Anna. Thank you so much for volunteering to open up your heart and your story. I am so excited that you're here today, and let's go. Let's talk about why you're here today. First off, I want to introduce you. So, Anna, go ahead and tell me about yourself. Like, who are you? What you do? Your
Yeah.
hobbies and so forth.
Okay. My name is Anna Bedell, and I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a former fourth grade teacher. I taught for 7 years, and I have a little boy who is 2.5. He keeps me very busy. I get to stay at home with him now. My husband is a musician. That's why we're here in Nashville, and we just are loving life here. And yeah,
That is awesome. That is awesome. Nashville is just an awesome city. It's really, really cool. So anyway, number two, I want to go over your reason why we're here today. So tell me about the disability or the struggle that you went through or is going through right now.
yes. Okay. So like I said, I was a teacher for 7 years, and basically in the spring, after my first year of teaching. So this was back in, 2013, I think it was.
Okay.
Um, it's the springtime, so you finally bust out your sandals. And so I was wearing sandals, and it was after a long day of teaching. I was on my feet all day.
Oh wow.
After I was saying goodbye to my kids in the hallway, dismissing them and saying, bye, see you tomorrow, I looked down and my foot felt really tight. My left leg and foot felt really tight and swollen, and I could visibly see swelling. And I was like, what's going on? Like, that's weird. Maybe I just, you know, injured myself or something and I didn't realize it. But it kept happening day after day. It was just my left leg and my left ankle. So I'm kind of a hypochondriac, and always think the worst thing is going to happen to me. And so I started Googling, and I was like, oh my goodness, I've got a blood clot, or maybe I have congestive heart failure or whatever. I mean, I was so worried. So I immediately made an appointment with my doctor, and they sent me for all kinds of tests. And we did test after test after test for months. And basically, they ruled out I didn't have a blood clot. My blood work came back totally normal. There was really nothing wrong with me. It was like a medical mystery. And so they had to rule everything out to then figure out that I have a condition called lymphedema. And so what that means is my lymphatic system in my left limb does not work properly. So you probably don't even think about your lymphatic system, because if it works properly, you don't notice anything. But we have fluid running all throughout our body, and the lymphatic system is sort of like your drainage system. And so when your lymph nodes and your lymphatic system doesn't work properly, you get pooling of that fluid. And so after being on my foot for a long, or on my feet for a long time,
Yeah.
I'll notice swelling like in my foot and leg and ankle. Yeah, so that is my condition. I have lymphedema, and it just randomly came up, almost 7 years ago. And now it's something that I deal with every day. So, yeah.
So in the beginning, when you first received the news of exactly what it caused in that,
Mhm.
how did you feel at the time? Like when you were there in that moment, what were you feeling?
Yeah. Um, Honestly, I was so thankful that it wasn't anything extremely serious,
Right.
but I was also like, wait, I have like a disease? Are you serious? It was really shocking, and also like I wanted answers. But this is kind of a rare condition, and it's starting to gain some awareness. But at the time, they were like, yeah, we have one hospital here, Vanderbilt, had like one specialist area where I could go and get manual lymphatic drainage. And it was where a lot of cancer patients went, because a lot of people who get their lymph nodes removed can develop lymphedema because you're irritating those lymph nodes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't have cancer, and I was waiting in this waiting room with like people, in wheelchairs and without their hair. And like, it just was a huge moment for me I just felt so grateful that mine wasn't so severe, but it was really, I don't know, it was just an eye opener. Like, hey, um, you know, life is not always perfect. Everybody has something that they're going through, and this was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, just like so inspiring because in a way it sounded like you took a situation and you try to turn it into a positive thing. And then a lot of people struggle with that. And I love that you right away try to make it a good thing that you are alive, healthy, and you're breathing and you're eating, whatever it is, you are grateful for all that. So give me a little bit of your everyday routine. So how is that affecting your everyday routine?
Okay, well, I will say, back when I first got diagnosed and I was going to Vanderbilt like weekly, what they would do is they would measure both of my legs and they would measure like every inch, and then they would compare the differences. And my left leg was significantly more swollen than my right. And so they had to do manual massage, and then they wrap you up like with these bandages, and it's huge. Like your leg is so huge. It looks like you've broken your leg. And so, and then they would leave and she'd be like, hey, leave this on for the rest of the day and sleep in this, and then you can remove it tomorrow and then put on your compression stocking. And so for me, it was just going from like just living a normal life to then going to these weekly massage therapy appointments, getting wrapped up like a mummy, and having to wear a compression stocking every day. I should have brought my compression stockings to this interview.
About to ask you to show me what it looks like. I've never seen it before.
I know. I need to show everybody what it looks like, but basically think of pantyhose with the toe cut off of it. So it's like a big long sleeve, and I wear one that goes all the way up to my hip. So it goes from like basically it covers right after your toes all the way up to your hip, and it's very tight. So like my nails, if they're even hardly long at all, then I can it's very difficult to put on my compression stocking. But yeah, that's something that I had to wear. I mean, I still am supposed to wear it every single day, and it just helps my leg not to swell even more. But it is uncomfortable, and it's one of those things where I'd be like, I would be embarrassed to show, because I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't want to be different. And so that's something that I'm learning and really getting through now. It's like the thing that makes you different is so special. And even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, sometimes you have to feel uncomfortable because you're going to really help somebody else. And so that's why I love what you're doing. And I love this platform that you've built, because I think that this is a place for people to be inspired, and just to know that like, hey, you're not alone. We all have something unique about us.
Agreed. You describe it so well. Like, I love it because it started out with like focusing on just disability, and then I realized all of us have something that's disabling us. All of us have a disability. It can be a mental thing, it can be physical, it can be something emotional that happened to you. It can be literally anything from divorce to everything. So that's why when I heard your story or read your story on Facebook, I'm like, this girl needs to share this on Able.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you were able to share with us. Okay, so let's move on to life motto. So what is your life motto that helps you get through your everyday routine, even though when you're feeling down, you're just like, why am I dealing with this?
Yes. I had to think about this for a while, because I was like, is it going to be a verse? I'm a woman of faith, but I was like, I couldn't pinpoint one thing. And then I thought about this. Mine is just be kind, because we are all going through something that other people have no idea about. So, I mean, you may see someone being grumpy or rude at the store or whatever, and you want to just react like, what are you doing? But I just remind myself of like, hey, I have no idea what they're going through. They might be going through like such traumatic pain, or even something small that just irritated them in their day. So that's my life motto, is be kind. And the quote that I love lately is always be kinder than you feel. So if you don't feel like being kind, you've got to be kind. Always be extra sweet to other people.
Yeah, I agree 1000%. And then, so where do you go from here? Like, what are you planning on to accomplish from here? Like, what you want to do next?
Yeah, I know you're challenging me with these questions. Well, for me, my goal was to get out of the classroom and be able to stay at home with my son. So,
Yeah.
like, life goal, that was the goal, and now I'm here. So I have to challenge myself to figure out, what do I want to do next, and
Yeah.
also just to be present in the moment. I feel like that's my goal right now, is just to be a great mom and a great wife, and just to be here for my son. But as far as my condition with lymphedema, I was inspired this summer to actually share about my condition, because it's something that only my close friends knew about. And I just was scared to tell people about it because it makes me uncomfortable. But now that I've shared about it, I feel like there are a lot of children that suffer with lymphedema, and it's way worse than mine. And I love kids. I love people, and I just would love to somehow impact people that have lymphedema and just be there for them, and just bring awareness to the disease.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that's going to look like, but that's kind of my next goal.
You kind of like gave me goosebumps. Like, I feel like there's something about to happen, and I'm like, am I thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh my gosh.
I feel like you can be the ambassador for people and children who are dealing with what you are dealing with. And I feel like you can actually try to change their life by pushing them to be more positive about their condition.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And you can be the leader of the support group to help people go through what they're going through, and just be the cheerleader. I can totally see that in you.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I need to sit down and like figure it out, but I do feel like that's part of my calling. This summer, when I like came to this like revelation this summer about it, and a few of my girlfriends that I met online, just like you, and then we finally met in person, and they were like, Anna, you have to share this. Like, you have to share this. This is unique, and like other people who are going through it, they need you. And so I don't know. We'll see.
Awesome. Well, speaking of supporting others, like, where can everyone find you if they're going through this condition, or if they just have a question to ask you, if they want to reach out to you? Where can they find you?
Yes, I am really active on Instagram, so it's just Anna_Bedell, and I love to check my messages and my DMs, and I love the community. I just love Instagram so much, and the community that it is. So just message me, and I would love to contact you and get in touch.
Well, awesome. Thank you again for coming on here and opening up your heart and sharing your story. That, like, your story is incredible, and I cannot wait to see what they're gonna do next. And I have a good feeling what's gonna happen, but I'm just gonna sit back and wait and see. And I am just here to support you, no matter what. So thank you again for coming on here, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Abigail.
Okay.